He was lying there, blood seeping through his expensive shirt, the world around him blurring into darkness. The once powerful CEO, the man who controlled an empire, now felt helpless, like a wounded animal cornered with no way out. Every breath was a struggle, every heartbeat a reminder that maybe this was the end. Injured, alone, and trapped in a situation he never thought he'd face. He thought his fate was sealed. But just when all hope seemed lost, she appeared. Out of nowhere, a girl, fierce and fearless, rushing through the chaos to save him from the brink of disaster. This isn't just any rescue story. It's a tale of courage, unexpected alliances, and hearts that collide under the most intense circumstances. Our CEO, once untouchable, now has to rely on someone he never imagined. The kind-hearted girl who suddenly stepped into his life and changed everything. She didn't just save him physically. She broke down the walls around his guarded heart, awakening feelings he never thought he'd have. From the moment she appeared, the balance of power shifted. No longer was he the untouchable boss, towering over everyone. Now, he was vulnerable. And she became the light in his darkest hour. But this story isn't just about survival. It's about what happens after. The tangled emotions, the hidden pasts, and the secrets that bind them together. What made her risk everything for him? Was it just a twist of fate? Or was there something more at play? And as danger continues to close in from every side, will their unexpected connection be strong enough to survive the storms ahead? Stay with us, because this is only the beginning. The injured CEO thought he was doomed, but now, with a heroic girl by his side, his life and heart will never be the same. You won't want to miss what happens next. Before that fateful day, the CEO's life had always seemed untouchable. High-rise offices, important meetings, the kind of power that made people either respect or fear him. But beneath the polished exterior was a man who carried heavy burdens. The weight of the company's future rested squarely on his shoulders, and not everyone around him had his best interests at heart. Competitors, jealous rivals within his own circle, and even those closest to him, seemed ready to pull the rug out from under him. It was a constant battle, but one he had always managed to stay ahead of. Until now, on the other side, the girl who saved him wasn't a typical hero from a storybook. She came from a world far different from his, ordinary yet fierce, with her own struggles and dreams. She wasn't rich or connected, but what she lacked in status, she made up for with grit and a heart that refused to give up. She had her reasons for being there at the right time, reasons tied to her past, and a secret that slowly started to unravel as their lives became more entangled. Her courage wasn't just a momentary spark. It was the result of everything she had been through, fighting to protect those she cared about. As the CEO recovered from his injuries, it became clear that the danger wasn't over. Those who wanted to see him fail were still lurking in the shadows, and his trust was in shorter supply than ever. The line between friend and foe blurred as whispers of betrayal spread. Meanwhile, the girl found herself pulled deeper into a world she never imagined. Corporate schemes, dark secrets, and the heavy cost of power. Their connection grew, but so did the risks. There was more at stake than just the CEO's life. The company's future, the people who depended on it, and the girl's own hidden motives all collided in a tense dance. Was she simply a savior, or did she have her own game to play? And as enemies closed in, both from outside forces and internal betrayals, the tension built to a breaking point. Every decision became a gamble, every step forward a fight against the unknown. Behind closed doors, alliances shifted, old friends turned into suspects, and the true enemy wasn't always the one wearing the darkest mask. the CEO struggled to keep control, not just over his company, but over the fragile new bond with the girl who now owned a piece of his heart. Could trust be rebuilt in a world filled with lies? Or was this just the calm before the storm, with danger tightening its grip? Every moment felt like walking a razor's edge. The girl's bravery was tested like never before, and the CEO faced challenges that pushed him beyond his limits. The clock was ticking, secrets were threatening to explode, and the choices they made next would change everything. Would they survive the coming storm together? Or would the forces against them tear them apart before they had a chance to truly be free? Just when it seemed like things were finally settling, the unexpected happened. A confidential file surfaced, one that exposed years of corruption hidden within the company. The file hadn't just been discovered by accident. Someone close to the CEO had been digging around, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. That someone turned out to be his most trusted board member, the man he considered a mentor. The betrayal hit harder than any wound. The girl, who had now become a constant by his side, noticed the tension before he did. She'd seen small clues, missed meetings, odd behavior, whispered phone calls. She didn't want to believe it, but something told her the final blow was coming from within. And she was right. The very person the CEO once turned to for advice was now orchestrating his downfall, using the chaos of his recovery to stage a silent coup. With the company's shares plummeting and the media swirling with rumors, everything was spiraling. The CEO was advised to step down, but instead of giving in, he took a stand. And this time, he didn't do it alone. The girl, quiet but steady, stepped forward, using footage she'd secretly recorded, documents she had saved, and the loyalty of a few honest employees. She helped him expose the truth to the board and the public. The moment was raw and real. He stood in front of a room full of people who once doubted him and laid everything bare. The lies, the manipulation, and how far some had gone for power. And then he turned to her. She hadn't just saved his life, she'd saved his future. The crowd didn't see a CEO and an ordinary girl anymore. They saw a team. They saw heart. The company, once on the brink of collapse, began to recover. Slowly but surely, trust returned. Shareholders supported him, this time not just for profit, but for his honesty and resilience. And the girl? She never asked for credit. She never wanted the spotlight, but people noticed. They saw the strength behind her quiet eyes and the kindness in her actions. One day, as the chaos faded and peace began to settle, the CEO found her standing alone in the garden outside the office. Just like the day they met, he walked over, gently touched her shoulder, and simply said, "Thank you for everything." She smiled, not needing more words. He asked, "If I told you this all started the moment you rushed in to save me, would you believe me?" She laughed softly. "Maybe, but I think you were saving yourself long before I showed up. You just needed someone to remind you." They stood there for a moment, letting the quiet speak for itself. There was no grand gesture, no dramatic kiss, just two people who had walked through fire and come out stronger. Together, their story wasn't about power or money anymore. It was about loyalty, redemption, and the quiet courage of an unlikely bond. And for those who watched their journey unfold, it was a reminder that sometimes heroes don't wear capes. Sometimes they walk into your life in the most unexpected way and stay. So for everyone who followed their journey from the moment an injured CEO thought it was the end, to now, where his heart found its true home, this was never just about business. It was about love, trust, and the power of one brave soul to change everything. And sometimes, that's all it takes.